Okay, so you're interested in getting into no content and low content book publishing, but you've got no clue what niche to get into. Well, today I'm going to share with you a niche that I recently found that is actually very lucrative and it's not that difficult to get into. So with that, I'm going to flip the screen around and I'm going to introduce you to the niche of crime scene investigation puzzle books. Okay, so here we are on Amazon.com. Now, I don't have this in incognito mode just because I didn't take that extra step. If when you get to the point where you want to look at keywords and things like that, then you'll definitely want to do it in incognito mode if you're not using something like Publisher Rocket. But for this sake, I just want to show you the niche. I want to show you how lucrative it is. And so you can see exactly what all is possible. And then I'm going to show you a software that can actually guide you into creating these crime scene puzzle books. I just went in here and I typed in crime scene puzzle book. As you can see, the competition is only 779 results. So that's it. Those are all the books that are using that keyword phrase, crime scene puzzle books, 779. That's super, super small compared to, tens of thousands. So right now we know the competition is not very strong as of the recording of this video, but we want to see the proof of concept. We want to see that these actually are making money. So we're going to go in here and unless you're using something like lulu.com, we're not going to pay attention to the spiral bound. We're just going to pay attention to the BSRs of the paperbacks. So here's one, and these are ads. They're running ads to it. But this one right here is ranked 3,541. Now, if you haven't seen my videos before, this right here, this is an extension that I use, a Chrome extension called DS Amazon Quick View. I use the free version, and what it does is it just gives me a lot of information that otherwise I'd have to click onto the actual product and scroll down to the product description and see it that way. So it just makes things faster. So I can see the BSR, which is the bestseller rank, is 3541. The closer to 1 you are, the more books are selling per day. So I also have open on over here. I have my two of my favorite sites to go to when I'm trying to figure out how lucrative a niche is, and that is KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. They have a royalty calculator, and I've shown this in other videos, but basically you go in here, you put the details of the book, and it'll tell you what the royalties are, how much they're actually making. And then the other one is on the Kindlepreneurs website, and it is a bestseller calculator where you put in, we're doing paperbacks because we're doing puzzle books, and the Amazon.com site is the marketplace, and you just put in the BSR, the bestseller rank, and it will tell you on average how many books they're selling a day in order to keep that ranking. And so again, it's just used to help us see how lucrative it is and to see whether it's something we're interested in. So again, we're going to go to our Amazon, and we're just going to look at this one right here, 3541. We're going to go to the calculator, 3541. It's selling on average 28 books per day. So we're going to pull up our calculator and we're going to put in 28 times, and then we're going to go over here and we're going to look at the details of it. And in here, I can see it's 148 pages and it is a 6x9. So I'm going to go to the royalty calculator, paperback, black and white, it's in inches. It was 6x9. It was 148 pages, and the list price is $12.99. And so the royalties on this is $5.02 per copy sold. And so again, we go to our calculator, and it's 502. They're making $141.56 on average per day for that book. And then we're going to do times 30 days in a month. So $4,200 and change for 1 month of keeping this BSR for that one book. And again, just like with many niches, when you're doing puzzle books and low content, no content books, most people are not doing just one book in that niche. So then we got this one right here. This one is it's still about the same price. It's got less reviews, but and the ranking is higher, so it's not selling as much. So we're going to look at this one. We want to see something realistic. So it's 75,039. So it's selling 2 a day. So again, nothing super amazing, but again, let's see how it's doing. I mean, it is at $12.99. So at $12.99, let's see what the stats are on it. It is another 6x9. So they're making $4.11 per copy. So times 411. So they're making $8.22 a day times 30 days. So they're making 246.60 per month on average. Not bad for one book, 200, almost $250. Again, they are running ads to it. But what I would probably do is I would probably lower the price until they get a few more reviews. But yeah, I mean, no complaints there. So here's one right here, not running ads. It's got quite a few reviews, so keep that in mind. But it's also $11.95. So when you're starting out, maybe start out at a lower price point than that. 136 pages, and it's an 8x10, so it's bigger. So we're going to do 8x10. So they're making $3.86 per copy. So we'll do 386 times, let's see how many copies they're selling in a day. Okay, so the ranking is 9660. So 13 copies a day. Okay, so they're making $50 a day times 30 days, $1,550, a little over $1,500 a month selling this one book, this one puzzle book. So I've shown you one that they can be lucrative, even the ones that aren't selling crazy. They're maybe ranked 75,000 or whatever. They're still selling, you're still making $150 a month. Not too bad for one book. And I've also shown you that the competition right now, as of recording this video, which is May of 2024, isn't that competitive. I mean, there was less than 1,000 competitors. All right, so I'm going to show you a software called Crime Scene Puzzle Books. So this is created by Ken Blutman. Ken Blutman has done Puzzle Book Mastery and all those books. And so he has this new software, and it's not just software. It's almost like a coaching program, not one-on-one coaching, but he shows you and explains to you how you can make the most out of this niche. And so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go home, and it's going to give you a little idea of what crime scene puzzle books are. And basically, there's two different types from what I've seen. You can do things that are more fiction related, like just puzzle books, and with a crime scene kind of theme on top of it. Or you can do true crime, which is something that, again, other people are really get invested in. I mean, think of how many crime shows are out there, how many crime TV shows, both real as well as fiction. Things like CSI, Law and Order, all of those types of shows, but also the real life ones too. So there's people interested in both. So anyway, so a lot of this is just training your mind to think that way. And especially if you're passionate about that niche, it'll be a whole lot of fun. So it's going to give you an overview of what the niche is and how you can organize your books and things like that. Like, go from, from the first page all the way to the end, like how to organize it. Then we've got this category called evidence. And there are two different types. And these are creations that Ken has put into the system. So the first one is thumbprints. So you click in here, and again, there's a video to explain how to use it. But basically, you can download thumbprint graphics. And I'm going to get into Canva in a second and show you how to use these. And it's a whole lot of fun. And just give you some ideas. The creativity is going to come from you. What you can do with this is really only limited by how creative you can be. So that's the thumbprint one. And then they've got one called DNA sequence. And it's basically, and again, I'll show you this as well, but it's going to create two different DNA sequences like this. And there's a difference between one of them. One of the lines of the DNA sequence has been removed, and the person has to figure out what's missing. It's kind of like a compare. So maybe on one page, they'll see the full DNA string, and then, kind of have to memorize it. And then they flip the page and they'll see, the one that's been changed. And then they have to try to figure out what's wrong with it. Like where is it missing? And it really challenges their memory and, try not to flip back and forth. So that's one way you can do it. And literally you click create DNA and it creates it. There it goes. It's created it for you. And then you can just click here to download the zip file. It's really that fast. Okay, so that's the evidence. And then we've got activities. And these are videos where he shows things like what's changed, kind of similar to what I said with the DNA strings. But he's going to show you, kind of explain to you and show you copies. He's purchased so many different books in this niche, and he'll show you how they do it, how your competition is doing it, so you know what is actually working. So we've got that. Assemble a picture, so you can actually upload a picture and you tell it how many slices to put it into. and it'll be, 4 slices, 9 slices, or 16. And then it'll actually cut the picture up into it'll give you that many images. You put them on your page and put them however you want. And again, I'll show you this in Canva, how I'm going to do it. And then the person would cut those pieces out and kind of tape them together or whatever in order to make the image the way it's supposed to be. So that is the assemble the picture. And then you got memory challenge. And this one is actually, again, it's just a video, but he explains to you how you basically, it can be a paragraph where they have to read it for 60 seconds or whatever. And then they answer basically trivia questions that can very easily be created in Word or PowerPoint or whatever you want. And so again, he'll show you some examples of this in real books that are selling in this niche. Then we get down to the puzzles. Okay, this is a puzzle book, right? So this puzzle is called Word Ladders. And basically you go in here and you put one word. We're just going to say cat. And then we'll put dog. And you'll create a word ladder. And basically what a word ladder is it takes the first word and they can only change one letter to get to the final word. And so they might see cat and then dog is the final word. And there's two lines, two different steps in that ladder to get from cat to dog. And the user has to figure out what that is. But you can do this in other ways too. So if you want your book to be more of a storyline, you can actually say, have an arrow in your book and to where you're pointing to the third blank and tell them this is a clue to what maybe, a waitress later on down the road, what her name is, so maybe the witness's name is Dot. And so again, they wouldn't see these. And you do this in PowerPoint or you would create it in Word. You would write cat, leave a blank, and then dog. And then they have to find those two middle rungs, what changes to get in there. And then you have an arrow pointing to the third one that's a hint, find this witness or whatever. And again, he's got videos in here that show what they look like. But this is just one way you can take just a simple word ladder and add it to your storyline by saying, the third one is a clue to who your witness is. And here we got cryptograms. Cryptograms we've seen in other puzzle softwares where basically you put in a word, a phrase, paragraph or whatever, and then the system replaces those and leaves them blank. And then they have to figure out what, the letter goes to this number and what correlates it with it to figure out what that hidden paragraph is. And again, with the theme of crime scene, it could be, this was the victim's final letter that they wrote, or maybe the criminal left a hidden note that you have to try to decipher. So again, that is cryptograms. And the next up, we've got logic puzzles. Logic puzzle, if you've ever played the game Clue, then you'll probably know what a logic puzzle is. And again, there's a video in here so you can learn more about how to use it. And then we've got fill-ins. Fill-ins is actually, think of a crossword puzzle, but without the clues. It's literally, and this is really big right now. I've got apps that do it, and and books that I've purchased where literally it's just this. It's just a bunch of boxes that all link together, and you can tell it to create, whether you want between 1 and 20. So let's just say I want to do 1, I create the fill-in, and there it is. That quickly, and this is with it being recorded, so it'll probably be even faster if I wasn't recording. This is the image without the answers. Here's your answers. And then this is a list of the words that you can either give them so they can try to figure it out. Or if you want to make it super difficult, don't give it to them at all. And then you just go up here, click to download the zip file, and it's going to give you these three. These two are going to be images, and then this is a text file. The next puzzle is word searches. And the best part about the word search generator in here is one of the biggest complaints I hear from people who are doing puzzle books and they have to do word searches is finding the words. This one, you don't have to. You literally just tell them how many puzzles, and Ken has already uploaded in here thousands of crime-related words. And those are what get populated into your word search. So you don't have to worry about finding the words, making sure that they're on point, making sure that they, that they'll fill in correctly. Nope, he's done all that for you. It's already done. So there you go. Those are the word searches. I've shown you what it includes, and there's help items in here, FAQs, things like that, resources. But I want to show you now how to actually use these things. So I'm in Canva. I use the free version of Canva. I just went in and I created an 8.5 by 11. So here it is right here. I just uploaded a lot of the images, try to make this video as short and succinct as possible. So here you go. Remember we talked about the thumbprints that they have. You get a big collection of thumbprints. I'm going to just scroll real quick and show you all the thumbprints that you get. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, there's just more and more. So, and what I did was I just took 2 thumbprints. I took one, I duplicated it 5 times, and then I took another one and just put it in there. And then what you would do is you would say something like, find the thumbprint that's different. And so this is the page that you would create, and the answer would basically be this one, and you just have it circled. So that's one example. And I'm going to zoom in a bit more. And that's just one way that you can use a thumbprint. Another way you could do it is you could maybe have a thumbprint on page 6 of your book. We found this thumbprint. And then maybe later on page like 20 or 21, they have to look at something like this and maybe have 6 different ones and find the one that matched what they saw before. So again, it goes back to the memory aspect of it. The next one I did, and this is the one he was talking about earlier. It's right over here. He talks about changes, what's different in activities, what changed. I took an image and I just took it off Pixabay. But obviously, if you're going to do it for your own book, I would strongly suggest doing something that you actually pay for. So maybe deposit photos or something like that. Anyway, so I did that, and I took this image right here. Again, I want to zoom in, and then I went into a software called Pixelcut, which I actually am using the free version of it, and I removed something. So you have to find out what I removed. So here's it by itself, and there it is. Can you see what changed? Now, this one I made pretty obvious, but you can do one that's a little bit more complicated. Like, for example, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to add some pages. All right, so I'm going to add this image in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in, get a little bit bigger, add it up here. All right, you have to memorize this page. Then over here, we're going to put in what's different. This is the one where something has changed. So look at this page. Is there anything you can, take a look, see what you can memorize? And then down here, what's different? I've actually changed 4 things. Can you tell what the 4 things are? And I'll tell you, you'll be surprised at some of the things that you might have missed. So, all right, I'll give you a couple more seconds. All right, let's see if we can figure it out. This is what I changed. There was a chair here, an actual chair that I deleted. Over here, there was carpet that I deleted. Over here, there was a trash can that I deleted. And then down here, there were some pens and pencils that I removed. So again, these 4 things I changed, and especially that chair right up front, you might not have noticed. And again, this is just one example of something you can do in Pixelcut. And again, Pixelcut is absolutely free. In a second, I'll show you how to do Pixelcut real brief, but I want to get down to the next thing. This is the one where it was actually where I cut up the image and where they have to cut it and put things together. This is the one where, here, I'm going to shrink it a little bit. This one has an important piece of information. This has when the meeting is. So when these, when they're supposed to meet the victim or whatever. And so you put these together and the final image is going to look like this. And again, the software, I just put this image in and told it, break it up into 9, and it gives me the 9 images. So I've shown you those. Now let me show you real quick how to use Pixelcut. Super easy. Like I said, I used the free version of it. Didn't even sign in. I'm just going to go into Magic Eraser. That's what we want. Upload an image. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to use, even with something as complex as that burnt scene, the burnt office space. So I'm going to click in here. So there's the chair that many of you might not have noticed that I had removed. There's the carpet. There's the pens that are removed. And literally all you do is you can adjust the size of your brush, and you're just going to go in and highlight it. I'm just hitting my left mouse button, I'm holding it down and I'm just covering it up. What I'm getting rid of. Don't forget the legs. And then I click Apply Magic Eraser. And what it's doing is it's using its background to kind of fill in that gap. And so there you go. That's simple. It's gone. It's gone. And then I just go over here and download it. It's that simple. So there you go. That's everything that you get. And there's no tiers where, you know, you get extra stuff if you pay extra money. No, there's no tiers. It's one product. And there you go. That is Crime Scene Puzzle Books. Well, I hope you're as excited about the crime scene investigation puzzle book niche as I was when I first found out about it. If you are, and you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know to share this with other people. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that bell notification so you get alerted every time I put out new videos, just like this one. So if you want to check out Crime Scene Puzzle Books yourself, you can head on over to my affiliate link at kwheelerbooks.com/CSI. Well, don't let the learning stop here. Our friends over at YouTube say that this video right here is perfect for you. But I think you'll like this one. So let's see who knows you better, me or YouTube. Check out one of these videos and remember to write right.